And that's why green apples, I think, are super underrated. He's making good points. Thank you. Thank you. He's been on the top 3 popularity charts for Shonen Jump's Naruto character polls for 10 years when they were running it. 2001 to 2011, Kakashi Hatake. And I'm not surprised. If you are interested in watching Naruto, which I've met people, in the midst of Shippuden and when Shippuden's almost done, when Shippuden's done, around those eras that got into Naruto. Whether it was finished or in the middle of it, it's really cool that to this day, people, got into the show. That being said, there's going to be some spoilers ahead. We're going to be talking about what I think is a character that not only is well-deserving of top 3 popular character in just Naruto, but honestly, I think one of the most iconic characters in fiction. What's so cool about Kakashi Hatake is from the get-go, at the very beginning of Naruto, we see this kind of mysterious but strong man that's in charge of, the main character and the other 2 big main characters, which creates symbolism throughout the entire series. Naruto itself is a pretty amazing show because, after Dragon Ball, it was really hard to imagine for a lot of people what could even match the caliber of an anime of that popularity, anime and manga. And Naruto is up there. Naruto is considered of, the big 3, and the big 3 were Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. The big 3 branched off of Dragon Ball. All these big action-based, manga and anime. And, they all were pretty popular. I think Naruto, it got really, really close. Now, Dragon Ball is still running. It's still making shows and games, and rightfully so. It's great. I'm a big advocate of if an IP is amazing, keep working on it, Storytelling's important, good endings are important, but there's always fun ways to explore great worlds. I would love for more Metroid games to explore, a lot more branches of the Prime Hunters. And I think there's a lot of potential there. I think we'll see them this decade in games. I think they're all going to at least cameo in Prime 4. That being said, Naruto took and got really close to matching Dragon Ball's popularity pretty fast. And so Kakashi was a character established early on, and they did a good job establishing how mysterious he is, but he always had really good self-control, had a good resolve. And I was talking with, Jate the other day on the community Discord. It was so cool how throughout the show, so many of the baddest bad guys, the biggest antagonists of the series, respected Kakashi. They knew that guy by name, and the guy's covering most of his face, but they were quick to recognize him. Not only is he strong, but he doesn't boast about it, so his reputation was already, pretty big by the time the series started. And what I love about Kakashi is as you go on more in the series, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are adolescents at this time, and they're dealing with a lot of issues. Sasuke lost his entire clan, Naruto grew up without parents as well. He has a 9-tailed fox demon in him. Sakura is wanting to prove herself, and she definitely, I think what's underrated about her is she's the trope of you get straight A's in school, but, there are other things in life that, are important to succeed. And I love that kind of depiction of she's a great ninja by the textbooks and her knowledge is great. But a lot of her character arc is about refining her strength outside of the books. A lot of that streets experience, which is really cool to see. And so Kakashi has to, he instructs all 3 of these characters. And I love how consistent he always keeps his composure. And then, again, these are some big spoilers, but you discover more and more that this guy dealt with a father that also had a reputation, got a bit more of an infamous reputation, but his father ended up committing suicide. He lost both of his closest comrades during a war. One of his eyes, the Sharingan eye that he hides a lot, is from one of his friends that he got in a tragic death. This guy has dealt with a lot of traumatic experiences, but he never lets that behavior become treatment for others. He never lets how the world treated him. In fact, that's the cool part. He never sees it as, why do you treat me like this, world? Oh, is me. No, he gets himself back up and he keeps at it. In fact, he takes what he values, the lessons he learns from his friends. Messages like, abandoning your comrades makes you the worst of the worst. And, and what's so fascinating about Naruto is they talk about how, again, by the books, they say at the highest priority, the mission, takes agenda. So, by the entire, not just early Leaf Ninja, but, a lot of the great nations, when it comes to missions, the book instructions say, hey, if you're protecting sacred information of your land and your comrades are about to die, the information takes priority. But Kakashi was an advocate of always protecting your friends and comrades. I mean, he's the superhero. It's awesome. And what I love about that character, too, is all these hardships he went through. He keeps his composure. He has a reputation, but never boasts about it. And then, when a character like Sasuke is being tempted to go down a darker path, he was the one that stopped him. In fact, people point out that, that moment right before Sasuke left the village, Kakashi talked to him. And that was a big dynamic between, Sasuke being a character that is all about, kind of self-pity. I mean, I know he's an adolescent. At this time, he's, early teens, right? It's like, in this case, a lot of people associated him with that 2000s, Linkin Park teen angst, kind of like environment, which is funny because I got into Naruto in 2006, right? And, I started 6th grade in fall 2006, so Naruto and that type of teen angst aesthetic was definitely lined up. Now, I wasn't coloring my nails black, though Sasuke wasn't really doing that either. Wasn't listening to a ton of death metal at the time, but I actually was listening to some Linkin Park. And so that type of, at that time, when Naruto fans saw Sasuke, feeling sorry for himself, and he was lashing out at other people, being a really just not healthy person, Kakashi called him out, and Sasuke tried to pull, what do you know? And rather than Kakashi going down to his level, he once again maintained a consistent composure and used his experience through, what traumatic experiences he had. He used his experience from his past traumas that helped strengthen him. And he helped, give Sasuke a different way of looking at life. And a lot of fans to this day point out that if it weren't for, the Sound Ninja really, pushing him over the edge to get more power for revenge, Kakashi most likely convinced him to stay. That's kind of the alternate universe branching path right there, is when Kakashi talked to Sasuke. A lot of fans agreed that Sasuke would have stayed. But unfortunately, that hatred was further instigated by, Orochimaru and his followers. So there's that kind of philosophy about how much hatred can drive a person. And Kakashi is the type of person that didn't let that hatred get to him. And what happened with that is he becomes not only a strong role model, but once again, a well-deserving top 3 popular character for 10 years straight. And I think if that poll kept running, easily, he could be top 3 to this day. If they kept running polls to 2025, easily a top 3 popular character. And I love that throughout the series, not only was he an anchor for being a good human being, but he was an anchor of what true strength is. True strength is having good resolve, and true strength is looking out for others, taking care of them, making sure they're okay. Well deserving of becoming Hokage after the big ninja war at the end of the series, and I'm happy that he's still around. Kakashi's a great character, and if you're gonna watch Naruto, I don't even have to tell you to take note of him, because his appearance will be known. He has a strong presence, and my advice is just enjoy the ride and look more into the character once you're done. Once you definitely start watching some episodes and arcs. There's a lot of fun depictions of him in video games. The movies depict him well, and that's the fun part, is in all these official forms of media, even outside of the manga and anime, Kakashi is consistently him. And I appreciate that a lot. It takes a lot of effort, and when you have a great anchor character like that, no wonder he's one of the most popular anime characters, and honestly, I think he's one of the most popular fictional characters, because that form of consistency, that form of resolve that this character has, shows that not only do the fans love him, but for the people writing for this character, they understand and respect how important it is to not mess him up. I love Mondays.